And then, what in simple terms, what is existentialism? When you talk about existentialism, I say the term is significant. Existentialism is a situation where existence precedes essence. Is it clear? I repeat, existentialism is a condition where existence precedes essence. I know that you are confused. Here I talk about the essence of life. See, existentialism is an outcome of the post-war world. You know, after a great world war, after a war, see, every war is destructive. And if it is a world war, you know the magnitude, the great destruction it has created. Actually, after a great world war, you know, plenty of people are killed. Plenty of people are seriously injured. Public property is destroyed on a large scale. Houses were bombed and destroyed. Buildings were destroyed. And so, it will take years for the country to come back to its original shape. Is it clear? Every war is destructive. If it is a world war, then the magnitude is greater. The destruction cost is greater. That is, you know, even if a war is fought for justice, thousands of people are killed. Thousands of people are wounded. Public property is destroyed on a large scale. And so after a war, actually nothing will be left out in the country. And the people living in the post-war world have to suffer greatly. That is, regarding children, they are not aware of all these things. Elders, old people, they will make, they are ready for adjustments. Because only a little of their life is left out. But it is the youngsters who suffer greatly. See, there is no, they feel that there is no meaning in life. There is no hope. There is no way there is no way for them to live meaningfully in this world. Unemployment will be a serious issue. Lack of resources is an important issue. And so for the youngsters, it is very difficult for them to cope up with this difficult situation. They are the people who are struggling. Here comes the term existentialism. That is, people exist because there is no other way. Because we are born in this earth, we are destined to live. Even though there is no scope for any hope in this post-war world. And so there is no essence in life. We merely exist. This is the theory of existentialism. See, human being is seen as struggling in a world which is not at all attending to his sorrows. And so, in this passive world, a human being is struggling because he exists here. There is no essence in life, there is no meaning in life. And this is existentialism. And Camus is an existentialist. Actually, there is another type of existentialism put forward by a Christian philosopher called Kierkegaard. You will study about these things in the coming semesters in a very detailed way when you study the terms. But for the time being, understand that this is the situation. Existentialism is the state where existence precedes essence. Without any essence in life, people are forced to live. There is a stronger type of existentialism that is presented by Camus and Jean-Paul Sartre. And so, two types of existentialism is there. The first one put forth by the Christian philosopher Kierkegaard, which is a milder version. But in the second one, it is a joined one by Camus and Sartre. And this is the existentialism that we are speaking about, we are discussing about. That is the situation where people are totally frustrated, hopeless. Again, there is a line which is said by Camus, a statement. He says that this is the total absence of hope, but it is not renunciation. See, you know that religious people like saints, they give up the pleasures of this world for a greater reality. That doesn't happen here. Here, people want to have a better living, a hopeful living, but they cannot because they are living in the post-war world. And then absurdism is closely related, a term. That is absurd, the term means meaningless, not in harmony with, etc. And so the man who is not in harmony with his environment, that is absurdism. That is the man who suffers from existentialism. He feels that his existence is meaningless, absurd. And so these ideas are put forth by Camus. And actually, he had collaboration with Jean-Paul Sartre, and they worked together and they talked a lot and discussed a lot about the existential philosophy. But later, a rift develops between them. Because I told you earlier, Camus also was a leftist, but he cannot accept the Communist Party and how it implements its principles on the society, sometimes very oppressive, sometimes very much intolerant, sometimes don't taking into account the feelings of the individual. And so Camus lost his faith in the dogmas of the Communist Party, and the party also cannot accept him because Camus is not a silent follower. He will be talking for justice, and so he was expelled from the party. And so that is Albert Camus. And so you understood that he is from Algeria, France. And then he was a journalist, novelist, playwright, and a philosopher. And he was a leftist. He was a journalist for 3 or 4 years, where he wrote his important essay called The Myth of Sisyphus, and a very important novel that he had written called The Stranger, which includes his existential philosophy and his ideas on absurdism. Camus' notion of the absurd and its acceptance with the total absence of hope, which has nothing to do with despair, a continual refusal, and a conscious dissatisfaction. These are the highlights of his presentation. That is the total absence of the hope. See, I told you about the post war period. In the beginning of the speech itself, he talks about the Algerian Revolution, where Algeria fought with France for independence. And he discusses how, in the guerrilla warfare, the National Front leaders he attacked the French people. It's the guerrilla method, the secret warfare, where thousands of people were killed. And it is called the Algerian Revolution. And so he talks about the Algerian Revolution. And then he talks about the Spanish Revolution later in the second part of the speech, where again, with the support of the conservatives, how the war was fought against the existing government, and finally more than 8 to 10 lakhs of people were killed. More people died out of malnutrition, so many diseases, and so on. And so he was very much obsessed with these great calamities which man is forced to bear because he was born in such a period, isn't it? The people have to suffer not because of their fault but because they were born in such a period.